Generation Z is infamous for producing and consuming a heinous amount of TikToks, memes, and other internet fancies. But have you ever seen a small toddler gripping the thick, colorful case of an iPad, blatantly staring at the flashing screen while drooling at the side of the mouth? I have seen this image countless times. But at the park too? This is indeed a generation of living online. But what kind of lives will these toddlers grow to live while having the ability to absorb media, good or bad, on the internet? I believe children ages 1 through 15 should not be allowed to have access to social media for entertainment purposes. Children with access to social media are at risk of heavy negative influences, which will affect them as they mature into adults. This is because on social media, 99% of the content posted are all highlights of someone else's life. Drowning yourself in the image that luxury is the picture of someone else's life leads you to compare your own to them and question why yours isn't as picture perfect. In some people's cases, their own act of comparing got so bad, the users decided to take their own life as a result of extreme societal pressures from online. In a psychiatric article published just last year of October 5, 2020, studies presented in the article show that suicide is the second leading cause of death among individuals aged 10 to 24 years old. There are various reasons for suicide. However, also according to the same article, from a study analyzing data of 15 suicidal teens, results show that 67% of participants reported feeling worse about their own lives because of social media. That means 10 out of the 15 suicidal children were harboring depressive thoughts and emotions due to consumption of social media. Perhaps from a non-G perspective or non-millennial perspective, some would say, how could you get depressed from staring at a piece of metal all day? Just stop using it or turn it off. This is one of the problems children growing up with technology face. Everyone around you uses it, and it's also required to be used in many general situations in life, such as researching in school. However, many teenagers find it difficult to simply turn the phone off, because everyone in school is on Instagram or all of your friends are on Snapchat. As part of being human and growing up, teenagers want to fit in and be popular or valid to gain friends. This is caused by growth hormones and other biological and environmental factors. This issue of social media having negative impacts on children and teenagers cannot be permanently solved, because the use of social media will continue to grow as technology and society advance. This means that if currently toddlers can be found waddling around with an iPad in hands, perhaps one day newborns will also be reliant on technology for comfort and attention. One way to prevent the negative effects of social media from being drilled into kids starts with the parents. Parents should learn to appreciate the natural curiosity and high energy of children and supply them with knowledge and attention through actual activities, physically, mentally, and emotionally beneficial activities such as playing outside or with other children. Though I cannot and should not speak for parents, I propose that people raising children should primarily do so without too much technology, so that the future generation grows up knowing what it's like to play and truly socialize, and to run around free without a care in the world. Children should experience the world through their own hands and eyes, not through a screen. But how could parents in this generation cultivate a sociable and screen-free lifestyle for their children when everyone uses technology? Or when parents are too busy and drained from their work and daily errands, they don't have enough time and energy to play with their kids? How could they let their kids go out and play with others in a time where human trafficking, kidnappings, and open violence run rampant in the streets? These are all valid concerns in times where the easiest and most efficient way to stop your kid from driving you crazy is to drop the iPad in their lap or turn on Cocomelon. especially in the pandemic where social distancing diminishes physical interaction with others, which is important for child growth. A con in allowing children to grow up with their own social media account is that the children are more likely to feel often isolated and less used to socializing. However, some studies show that there are actually opposite effects linked with healthy usage of social media. In psychology, Professor Larry D. Rosen's talk, titled Poke Me, How Social Networks Can Both Help and Harm Our Kids, Rosens found that online social networking can help introverted adolescents learn how to socialize behind the safety of various screens. Another form of healthy internet usage is described in a review article, Effects on Social Media on Mental Health, by the International Journal of Indian Psychology, claim that in contrary evidence of inverse relation between depression and internet usage has been reported by the Kraut et al. And Shah and Grant. They further suggest that various social forms like gaming and chatting diminish the depression risk. In both of these examples of pros of social media, the researchers spoke positively on the effects which were caused by properly using social media to actually socialize. Still, it is no secret that since using social media has become popular and mainstream, anxiety among citizens in the US spiked. This is especially the case for young adults. Now, in the current generation where everyone owns a smartphone, even children and toddlers can be found holding these devices. The problem with this is if they become active and create a presence online where anyone can hide their identities, they can face cyberbullying, foster narcissistic mindsets, or indulge themselves in who knows what on the internet. All of these can be prevented if parents respectfully monitor their children's internet usage and emphasize the simple and natural joys of playing outside.